welcome to Just the Job. Today we've got a special program that'll give you a severe case of itchy feet and the distinct desire to go off on an adventure. This show will also describe how travelling can help your career prospects, because today we're looking at the big OE.
The Big OE, Gap Year or Grand Tour. No matter what you call it, it's a Kiwi tradition. Usually involving extended travel in a foreign country, New Zealanders, young and not so young, have always had a strong desire to go forth and see the world. In this program, we're going to discover the various ways of making your OE a reality. Firstly, Rachel Kearney explores the preparations necessary for the traditional OE, where, armed with only a backpack, some maps and some hard-saved dollars, you go on your adventures. We discover how to get the best deals.
We can look at flights 11 months in advance.
Then we meet Drew Parker, a builder's apprentice from East Auckland who's heading off on a special OE to Africa, where he's going to put his building skills to use.
It's sort of becoming a reality that it's all happening.
And finally, we meet Janelle Chitty, who discovers how to secure overseas work before she sets off, so she's able to travel and get paid while on her adventure. Whatever the OE, invariably the experiences gained while travelling will broaden your horizons, you'll be exposed to new, exciting and challenging situations, and all this can certainly enhance your CV and your job prospects when you return to New Zealand.
Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm 22. I'm a neuromuscular therapist and I really want to do my OE in London.
The United Kingdom has always been a popular destination for jet-setting Kiwis. There are many similarities in culture between New Zealand and the UK, and there's always heaps to do, with London alone having about twice the population of New Zealand. But before jumping on a plane and taking off, there are a few things you need to think about. Rachel heads into OE Experts STA Travel to find out more.
Hey Rachel, I'm Tom. Nice to meet you. So you're thinking about working in the UK then?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, awesome. Okay, so there's like two ways to do it. You can get the Youth Mobility Visa or the Ancestry Visa. Now, the Youth Mobility Visa is available for everyone on a New Zealand passport, and you can only work for 2 years though. Now, there's another option called the Ancestry Visa. Now, do you have any grandparents from the UK?
Yeah, they have.
Oh, fantastic. So you can apply for it as well. It just means you can work for up to 5 years.
How hard is that to apply for?
Well, there's, two ways of doing it. You can do it yourself. Now, the problem is that if you fill in anything incorrectly, they'll just reject it and you'll have to start all over again. But with us, we'll assist you with everything to make sure it all goes smoothly. A visa is essential because it allows you legally to work in the places here you want to visit. Australia is the only place you do not have to get a working holiday visa on a Kiwi passport. Anywhere else you will have to obtain that, but it will allow you to work whilst you're travelling. So secondly, we need to talk about your flights. So there's a few ways you can do it. Obviously, we're in Auckland, it's a long way to London. So, what a lot of people do, they stop in Southeast Asia, they go around Thailand or Malaysia on the way to the UK, or you can go over to the States and, make your way across before getting to the UK.
So how early would I have to book my flights?
So we can look at flights 11 months in advance, but we always recommend to get the best deals, book as early as possible.
Okay, cool.
So the last thing we need to talk about is travel insurance.
So why do I need travel insurance?
Travel insurance, we say here that if you can't afford travel insurance, you can't afford to travel. It's one of the things one of the only things you buy which you hope to never use in your life, but it's vital. Little things like accidents whilst you're overseas, medical bills can be huge. Travel insurance will cover that for you.
While travel is a glamorous adventure, planning the trip can be scary.
We get a lot of people who are quite nervous or not too sure to travel or go on this OE, and it's just a thought in their head at the moment. But, we get them excited about this. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and it can be amazing.
So STA stands for Start the Adventure, and that could be anything from a working holiday in the UK to diving in Fiji. So it's really all about finding your own personal adventure. So STA Travel, we're for students, young people, and the young at heart as well. So we've got exclusive deals for students and under 26s, and with some airlines also under 31 as well.
Okay, so there's a few things you need before you go.
Sorting your flights, visa and insurance is essential, but there are heaps of extras like student discount cards, money cards, international SIMs for your mobile and guidebooks that a good travel agent can recommend. You can also sort out your onward travel at your destination before you arrive.
So the cool thing about living in the UK is what a lot of people don't realise. You've got all these awesome cities on your doorstep. For a weekend away, you can go to Berlin, Amsterdam, Paris, Barcelona, Madrid. And you know, what a lot of people do is they do like a Contiki tour around Europe before they start working, or they do their own thing and get like a hop-on, hop-off bus pass with Busabout, or they get a Eurail pass. And it's a brilliant way to see Europe before you start working.
London is right on Europe's doorstep, making travel to exciting city centres like Paris, Berlin and Rome easy. If you were to fly from London all the way to where the European continent ends in Istanbul, Turkey, you would travel a shorter distance than flying from Auckland to Melbourne, Australia.
So traditionally, an OE was sort of a few years over in the UK, but we've really found that that's really branched out now, and you can pretty much go anywhere you want. So you can head over to the States or to Canada, or you could go and teach English in Asia. You don't need to go for a few years, you could go for a few weeks or a few months.
Knowing yourself and what's important to you is the first step in finding out about a career or job you really love. So spending time overseas is a great way to explore some of your own interests, passion and potential.
The great thing about travelling is just the people you meet, the food you're going to taste, the cultures you'll immerse yourself in. It really is one of those kind of once-in-a-lifetime opportunities. It really does broaden the mind when you're travelling. It's okay to be nervous. You know, for those people who are travelling on their own, I've done it myself. And it's good because you meet a lot of people that way, because there's a lot of people, you know, in your boat, basically. And the more you organise before you go, the more you'll get out of your trip.
So does Rachel feel like she's ready to get the most out of her big OE?
Tom was really helpful, told me everything I need to know. I'm feeling way more prepared, and now I'm off to London. Bye.
Coming up after the break, we meet Drew, who's off on an OE adventure of a lifetime working in Africa. The overseas experience is a Kiwi tradition, and there are many things you can do while you're away on your big OE. Working is one of them. Drew from East Auckland has signed up for some very rewarding work.
Hey, I'm Drew. I'm a building apprentice. I'm 21 and I'm really keen to see some new places.
Drew is about to leave our shores for Ethiopia, a landlocked country on the Horn of Africa with a population of over 90 million people, to build houses with Habitat for Humanity. But first he's off to meet Marty Vanderberg to find out a little more about the organisation.
Okay, so Habitat for Humanity is a not-for-profit Christian organisation that exists primarily to eliminate poverty housing worldwide. So where we are, Andrew, is at the Greater Auckland affiliate of Habitat for Humanity. These are some prefab units that have been built. In the background here we have the Restore. This is where public donate goods in kind to Habitat for Humanity. This is then sold, and that money goes towards building new homes for people here in Auckland who are living in substandard housing.
So you actually build houses here in New Zealand?
Yeah, we do, Drew. We actually do about 30 houses a year in New Zealand. And hey, why don't I show you one of the Auckland build sites? Come with me. So volunteering is a great way to travel because you combine voluntary work with tourism, so you get to do the two-in-one, and it gives you an opportunity to use your resources to give back to people who are in need. But in giving, you will receive, because you will see things that you've never experienced if you were just sitting at home in front of your iPad or your computer. The other thing too, here in New Zealand we build one home for a family, but the cost, particularly in Auckland, is getting so expensive. I know that I can build, for that same cost, 83 homes for 83 families in Ethiopia, and hence my own enthusiasm to send teams to Ethiopia to do voluntary work. So I have taken 7 teams to Ethiopia. We tend to go for 4 weeks. Within that 4 weeks, we will do 2.5 weeks of build on a build site, building with local people, building homes. So we visit the coffee industry, we visit an orphanage, and we visit a hospital that was set up by a Kiwi.
So how does Drew feel about his upcoming trip?
I'm really excited, but it's sort of becoming a reality that it's all happening. In terms of medical precautions and stuff, I had to go and have a whole bunch of shots. I've got to take this stuff. It's doxycycline. It's just to combat the malaria. and all of that. Ethiopia is sort of quite conservative in a sense, so I do need to pack some more like formal clothing as well, but we'll see on Saturday.
Drew's all packed and off to start his travel adventure in Ethiopia, and we'll catch up with him later in the show. But first we find out about a different sort of overseas volunteering with VSA.
So Volunteer Service Abroad, VSA, sends New Zealanders overseas to the Pacific to volunteer. It can be anything from boat builders, mechanics, crop advisors, anything that our partner organisations in the countries need. Generally, VSA looks for people with a qualification in the area that the vacancy's in. So the lengths of VSA assignments are also quite different to other volunteer organisations because we send volunteers for the shortest time of about 3 months to 2 years in length. So VSA covers flights, pre-medicals, insurance, and once you're in country, there's an in-country program manager that will look after all your needs, and you also get a living allowance, which is great.
Yeah, there are a lot of people who have great qualifications that go over and make a huge difference, but I don't think you have to have studied 3 or 4 years in medicine to be able to go over and make a difference in people's lives. You just have to be willing. So I went over with a football camp and we went to Southeast Asia and just worked with underprivileged children. But there's so many different organisations out there. You can team up with whomever it might be and use whatever skills you've got to go lend a hand. Like literally anyone can do it. Volunteering is fantastic because a lot of the time you actually have to go to the back streets to volunteer. Like you don't do it at the resorts. So you go to a country, you think you've seen a country, but you haven't seen it at all. Like if you really want to see the real Thailand or the real Cambodia, then you've really got to go to those places out in the wops, out in the sticks, and that's when you'll really be able to muck in, get your hands dirty and make a difference.
So I was lucky enough to do a volunteer program in Iceland a few years ago. Now the good thing about it, we were giving back. We were helping out with the conservation work there. And we also built a viewing platform for one of the biggest waterfalls in Europe called Dettifoss. That was very cool. Well, if you volunteer with SGA, there's so many things you can do. So you can help out with elephants in Thailand, you can work with orphans in Brazil, and you can even work with pandas in China as well. So also, we can actually get you on a voluntour. The differences between volunteering and volunteering are just slightly different. Volunteering is just a project you'll go and spend the duration of the time just helping out with a community or helping out with the environment. Volunteering is like the best of both worlds, really. It's for someone who wants to have a big trip, go on a tour, meet lots of people, see all these new communities and cultures, but at the same time give back something.
Volunteering overseas is not a holiday, but you can gain a lot from the experience. So if the voluntary work is already in an industry that you are passionate about, then it's a great way to extend your hands-on knowledge. If you're not sure about what direction to take, then check out our website for more information about a gap year.
So how did Drew get on building houses in Ethiopia?
I was away for 3 weeks and I just got back and had a really awesome time. I would easily do it again. I've told Marty and everyone that I'm very, very keen to do it again next year. Being somewhere completely different to New Zealand really made the experience for me. Like just plains and plains and plains of land over as far as you could see, and there was no cars around, no big city buildings or anything. It was just Africa.
Coming up after the break, we find out about getting paid work organised before you set off on your OE.
Hey, I'm Janelle, I'm 17, I go to Mount Albert Grammar School and I'm keen to do some work overseas.
Any kind of travel is a huge investment of time and money, but having your job sussed before you go can help reduce the financial burden. Janelle was off to meet with STA travel expert Manda to find out more about international working holidays.
I'm currently working part-time and I don't have a lot of money, but I really want to travel when I leave school, so what are my options?
Okay, so we've got loads of different working holiday programs all over the world, so I'll just talk to you about a few of the more exciting options. Firstly, I would have a look at Summer Camp USA. This is where you go over to the States during their holiday, which is between June and August. You work with the kids while they're at the camp. You get placed in one of them. It's the highest paying summer camp job that you could do out of New Zealand, and you also get 30 days of travel afterwards on your visa.
Oh, awesome.
Of course, the second option we've got for you is the UK Pub Life programme. That's basically if you've ever fancied working in a traditional English pub, then this is the one for you. It's also a guaranteed job or your money back. It includes your accommodation, where you live above the pub, sometimes includes your food. So by the time you get to England, you've got your job, you've got your accommodation all sorted, and you don't need to worry about anything. With this one, it is 19 years or older.
All right, cool.
Cool, so the third option is Work Canada Job Fair, and that's basically where you go over to a Canadian ski resort. It's another way that you can get yourself a guaranteed job or your money back. So there are different job options you can do there, is working in hospitality, so you can work in a bar or the hotel or at the mountain. And if you didn't fancy maybe doing skiing, then there are a few other things you can do, maybe au pairing or nannying overseas, or you could also teach English as a foreign language. Does that sound like something you might be interested in?
That all sounds really awesome, but I really want to do Summer Camp USA.
Awesome, let's sign you up.
Cool.
Signing up for an international working holiday is the first step, but Janelle doesn't have the job just yet. First, she's off to meet Bex Gilchrist from International Exchange Programs to find out more about the recruiting process.
Hi Janelle.
Hi.
I'm Bex. I'm working for IUP and we run working holiday programs for people all around the world. Our job placement programs are great for young people because they really look after them every step of the way. So we've done a lot of preparation at this end and there's a lot of support on arrival. There's obviously our support ongoing from here as well. So yeah, makes it easy to go overseas and we take care of the boring stuff so you can actually get on with having a really amazing time.
Hi.
Hi Janelle, I'm Mike.
Nice to meet you.
So I hear you're interested in Summer Camp USA.
Yeah, I am.
All right, can you tell me a bit of experience you have working with kids?
I love to babysit. I babysit loads. I love children.
Awesome, that's great. It's very important to have some experience working with kids.
The reason we need to interview applicants for our Summer Camp USA program is because it is a job that they're going for. They're going to work with children in America and obviously there's a lot of responsibility that comes with that. The recruitment process is quite long and in-depth. It starts with a quick interview chat with one of the team here to assess whether someone is suitable for the program. Then they'll apply online and then they have a full application online they need to fill out, detailing skills, experience, background and so on. As soon as we have that first copy, we review it, set up an interview time, placement happens, and then we start the whole next part of the process, which is getting them to America.
With many of these programs, there are fees to pay up front, which normally include administration charges, visa fees, some travel, accommodation, and some insurance. Myron from Palmerston North just got back from his summer camp in New York.
What was your favourite experience?
My favourite experience at camp was when I got to work with a group of day camp kids. These kids they come every day and for 3 weeks and they were really tough upbringings, been suspended from school and everything. First day they'd start fighting with each other. After 3 weeks of working on the challenge course every day, working together as a team, it was just incredible to change. They actually enjoyed working together, they were having fun.
Camp directors are looking for a really wide range of people across their camps, but all camps have things like a waterfront, so anyone with really good water-based sports and water-based skills is a real asset. Anyone with a great leadership background, you know, you might have been just gone into leadership roles at school without really realising that's what you were doing, you know, the captain of this, the captain of that, and those sort of things. So everyone's got something to offer on one of our programs. There's a program for everyone. You can be someone that just loves kids and wants to work with them, and, you know, we can help you through that whole process and get you placed somewhere that'll work.
Janelle's finished her interview, so how's she feeling?
Well, I hope the application went well and I can't wait to get overseas and start summer camp.
Thanks, Janelle, and best of luck to you. The world can be a dangerous place, and a lot of things can go wrong while travelling. safetravel.govt.nz is run by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade to help Kiwis out abroad.
Safe Travel is the official source of advice for Kiwis travelling or living overseas. We encourage all Kiwis to register their details online with us. This helps us locate them in the event of an emergency. If you find yourself in trouble overseas, we can help you in a couple of ways. If you lose your New Zealand passport, we can issue you with a new travel document. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, we can provide you with a list of local English-speaking lawyers. And if you have an accident, we can ensure that you have access to medical treatment and we can even visit you in hospital.
Travelling with a working visa or signing up for a working holiday are two great ways to get an overseas job. Another option is looking for a career with a company that operates on a global scale.
I think we've got about 35 Kiwis somewhere around the world at the moment. There's quite a huge variety of opportunities. Businesses in 23 different countries, 49 partner markets around the world, so a huge variety of countries that you could go and visit, and obviously the full range of all the jobs in Vodafone's.
Globally, McDonald's is large, and we like to look after our talent and look for the next opportunity for them. And we have examples of people who've moved all around the world from our restaurants, so the system trains people consistently, and we've got examples of crew who've gone to the UK, to Hong Kong, to China, to Australia. It's just great.
No matter what stage you're at with your travel adventures, there will be a time when you'll want to come home. Whether it's because you miss your old friends, family, or just a bit of New Zealand culture, you'll be bringing back new skills and experiences to help your career.
Once you've returned from overseas, you want to be planning your next step. It's a really good idea to take stock of all your combined skills, experiences, and any key achievements you gained over your travels. So if you're looking for some great tools like our Skills Matcher, check out our website on careers.govt.nz.
Every country has different entry and work requirements, so you need to check them out before you go. For most countries, a working visa needs to be obtained before you leave New Zealand. While a large portion of your travel costs will be flights and insurance, you'll need to have adequate savings to look after yourself while overseas, and immigration may ask for proof of this. Be extra careful when travelling, as you'll be away from home and won't have the support of your family and friends. So try to keep in regular contact with someone at home so they know you're all right. Buy adequate travel insurance to cover medical and other emergencies that may occur. Working overseas will have a tremendous impact on your future career by enhancing your CV and giving you real-life experience. And just remember to enjoy the journey.
Because when you travel, you're going to be put into situations that you're not used to back here at home. And that is going to expand your worldview, and it's also going to challenge you personally. And so it's a must. If you want to grow as a person, you've got to travel.
Hey, thanks Rachel, Drew and Janelle, and all the best for all your future travel plans. To find out more about anything you've seen from this week's show, plus information about all the careers we feature in this series, visit our program website tvnz.co.nz/justthejob, or simply Google Just the Job. So best of luck on all your adventures, and I'll see you soon.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.